There we go. We're going to talk about tables and graphs now. Okay? And in science classes, they go together. So you guys were saying you struggle a little bit with different kinds of graphs. There's only one kind of graph we use in here. No, we don't use bar graphs. The only kind of graph we use in here are dot graphs with what are called best fit curves. Okay? It's the only kind of graph we use in a chemistry class. All right, so let's talk about tables and graphs because there are, I like to use the term formal tables and formal graphs. Okay? Formal tables and formal graphs. All right? A formal table has a table number. A formal table has a table number, and it looks like this. It says you have to have the word table and then a number that follows it and a period. Like if it's the first table in some writing that you're doing, then it's table number 1. What? Yeah, you do. I mean, as far as notes, you need to know this stuff. Okay? So you're going to write, if it's the first table in a report, it's table 1. If it's the second table in a report, it's table 2. Okay? The third table will be table 3, and so forth and so on. Okay? And so then you have to have a description of what is in the table. A description of what is in the table. So I'm not going to give you a description of what we're doing tomorrow. I want you to figure out your own description tomorrow. Okay? So let's make up something that you could conceivably do. This is not what you're doing tomorrow, so you can't use the same description. We're going to make up something. Okay? Fair enough?
Sure.
All right? All right. Rate or speed
You speak as you write. I like listening.
the rate or speed at which a 10-gram sample of steel wool burns. Compared to the diameter of the strands. Yes. Okay. So let's see, how might we build this table? Let's say we have sample numbers. How about that? That might go in column number 1. Every time you build a table, you must have column labels. And so this is our first column label. Okay? Let's say we're going to do 5 samples just for this. So it's going to be sample number 1, sample number 2, sample number 3, sample number 4, and sample number 5. Now, we already said in our table label up here.
They gotta be in blocks like that.
Well, the whole graph is going to be a series of blocks. Yeah, I mean whole table. Okay. So we're going to have 10 grams. Each of these samples is going to weigh 10 grams. So we don't need a new column with the grams, the weight, because we already have that. Okay. What we need to know is what is the diameter of the strands and how fast it burns. Okay. So diameter strands. How many of you know what steel wool is? Raise your hand, tell me. Okay. Steel wool? You don't know what steel wool is?
Steel wool.
Steel wool.
Is that stuff you can wash dishes with?
Yeah, but that steel wool just has soap sort of embedded in it. That's right. Okay? So it's really tiny strings of iron. Okay? It's all kind of, huh? All right. What we need to know is how are we going to measure that? Okay? So we need a measurement unit, and we always put measurement units in these column labels. So I'm going to put in parentheses, in, and then I'm going to use whatever, I'm going to explain what measurement units we want to use. Okay? So something that you guys already know, you know what a millimeter is, right? So we're going to put it in millimeters. We'll just make it a fraction of a millimeter, okay? Anytime you have a column label, with measurements in that column, the measurement units should not be put in the cells of data. Measurement units go in the column label in this fashion. Parentheses with the units of measurement. Okay? Anytime you have a column that has measurements in that column, the measurement units are not to be put in these cells. Only in the column label, and the units of measurement go in parentheses. So let's start with the thickest and say the thickest is, a tenth of a milliliter. How about that? So 0.100 milliliters. Okay? Millimeters. Diameter. Distance. If we're measuring diameter, that's a distance. So we're going to use millimeters to do that. Right, that's running off the hook today. Hello? Yes, ma'am. Yes? Okay. I'll do it. All right, fine. Sure. Now, y'all are signing out over there when you leave, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just so you guys know, each time you go to the bathroom, that's being recorded, okay? And if you go to the bathroom more than 3 times in 9 weeks, I call your parents, okay?
Why do you think we're like doing something?
No, it's just that you're not here to hear instruction when you're in the bathroom, and it's a disrupting class, and I think your parents need to know if you're spending a lot of time in the bathroom.
I'm being dead serious. I got like something like a letter or something like that.
That's fine. If your parents say you got
I'm being dead serious.
I'm not saying you aren't. I'm just checking with your parents, because if you do have a bladder infection, your parents don't know about it. They need to know, don't they?
They do know.
Well, I'm just saying. I don't know if they know yet, so we'll be all right.
Like, okay.
You're not going to be like one of those kids that have to have like a doctor sign note. Well, you don't go to doctors.
I'm going to check with your parents, okay?
You have kids all the time.
Okay, Luis, you need to sign out, please.
You have kids instead.
Huh?
You have kids.
Do I have kids? Yes.
Your kids
All
are
right.
grown now, aren't
Well, I still have one at home. He's grown, but he's still at home. He's he's in the Army National Guard. He's going to be going to college.
they? How old are you?
17.
What's he still at home? So lazy.
Okay, let's say that the second one has this diameter. And the third one has this diameter. Fourth one has this diameter. And the fifth one has this diameter. Notice I didn't put any units of measurement in these cells. What?
Is that an 8?
8? This is an 8 right there, yes. How many significant digits in this number?
How many what?
How many significant digits in this number?
Hold up.
There are 3 significant digits in this number. The 1's significant because it's a non-zero digit. These 2 zeros follow a decimal place in a non-zero digit, so these 2 zeros are significant.
Well, I thought you meant zeros.
Not all. I was saying all the significant digits. Yes, sir. Yeah. For right now. Okay. How many significant digits in this number?
3.
Just 2.
Yeah.
8 and the 0 that follows it. These 2 are leading zeros. They're not significant. All right. And so we're comparing that to the rate at which the steel wool burns. Okay. How do you measure a rate? Okay, that's a rate. How many miles per hour? Well, we know we have 10 grams. Okay. So how many grams per hour would be a rate? Well, we already know the grams, so what do we really need to know then? Yeah, you think it's going to take an hour for 10 grams to burn? How about we do seconds instead? Okay? So this might be time for sample to completely burn. And we're going to say in seconds. Okay? So that's another column label. And we'll have this column of data here. What are we not going to put in these boxes here? What are we not going to put in this box? What do we put in the top box? The column label that we're not going to put down here. Seconds. We're not going to put the units down there. Just the number. Okay. All right. Let's say the first one takes 30.0 seconds. And the next one takes 25.0 seconds. And this one takes 21.5 seconds. And this one takes 14.3 seconds. And this one takes, 10.2 seconds. All right. So a formal table in chemistry, should have this sort of form. Table number, where you say table, number, and period. Okay, you can't just put one period. It's going to be table, number, period. And then a 1 or 2 sentence description that explains what's in the table and why it's important. What's in the table and why it's important. Okay? Table labels or table descriptions explain what's in the table and why it's important. All right? Column labels. Every column of measurements or calculated numbers must explain what is in the column and what units go along with those numbers. Every column label must have a description of what's in the column, and if there are measurements or calculated numbers in those columns, it must include the units of measurement for those numbers. Does that make sense?